Hey everybody, this is Indypride with Milk and Cookies Total War, and recently I was in the Dutch Dokuzai 64-player big tournament, and some of the better known Total War commentators were in this tournament. Agony Prussian Prince, Agony Twitchy, Point Man, and some other really big names and great players were in this tournament. And in the quarterfinals, which is what this series is, I played against ARDITI Tall, and the ARDIT clan is an Italian clan. They have some really good players in it, and he was definitely a good opponent. So let's jump right in and press play. And he picked rice fields for this map, and so I was expecting him to bring matchlocks, which he did. He's brought 3 of them. Let's look at his army real quick. He has 2 matchlock samurai and a matchlock warrior monk, and a strong infantry corps with 2 Naginata warrior monks on the flank, some no dachis in the center, and some lone swords bringing up the rear, and a bunch of attendants up front. I also have 3 matchlocks. I have a 125 range matchlock warrior monk in the middle, and flanked by 2 matchlock samurais. And I brought expert gun instructor this game, which gives +5 reload boost, and that I think was actually a really good choice for a retainer, just because it gave my matchlocks the edge in the matchlock fight. In the middle, I have a Longyari Ashigaru with hold firm. That is a great unit. Usually gets the most kills out of my armies. And I have behind that I have 2 katanas and 2 no dachis, and then I have a 29 attack katana cav. I absolutely love that unit. If you can flank around with a unit like that and get into somebody's flank or rear, you can absolutely destroy them. And I also have a Yari cav and 2 light cav to block charges. So I didn't bring a lot of cav in this battle, and that was actually a conscious decision. I think bringing a lot of cav can be good on rice fields, but basically I wasn't sure if he was going to be bringing a lot of cav, so I decided to put more money into my matchlocks and try to get that skirmish advantage at the start. And right now I'm capturing the archery dojo, and that'll also give my matchlocks a big boost in the skirmish fight. And he's capturing the shrine, but that's another great thing about light cav, and you'll see that in a little bit. I managed to get my light cav over onto my left flank and uncap that morale shrine once the battle starts. But that 125 range matchlock monk that I have in the center there is going to be... I didn't use it quite as well as I should have. I didn't skirmish with it as much as I could have on a map like Rice Fields, but it's definitely a really nice thing to have that extra 25 range, and because it has extended range, you can get shots at them from as far as a line infantry can shoot. You have 150 ranges in Fall of Samurai, which is a great little ability to have. So we're just capturing dojos at the moment. I was a little worried at this point because I saw his infantry, and he has a lot of really strong infantry, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to win in a straight-up melee engagement. So I end up running over to take the farmhouse as well. I wasn't sure if I wanted to skirmish with my matchlocks or just try to get into a melee engagement right away. But that farmhouse is still going to be really good because it makes my guys faster, and their stamina they won't become tired as fast as his will in a grinded out melee fest, which is what I was thinking might be how this match would turn out. So yeah, we're just capturing the dojos at the moment. And one thing that he did that I wasn't sure was a good idea, a lot of people put attendants up front of their armies. I don't actually like doing that, because when you obviously you want a meat shield for your good infantry and your matchlocks, but it's not always good to send Naginata attendants out front, because when they rout, they give a morale penalty to the rest of your units, and that's something that you definitely don't want to do. And I think it isn't always a good idea. The way he uses it this battle isn't bad. He makes me pull back my matchlocks, but it can be bad, and I've seen people lose games from the morale penalty that attendants give. But right now, on my right flank, he's moving up his matchlock, and we're going to get into an engagement. I have the archery dojo, but he's inspired, so he's probably going to win on my left flank. And now my center, my matchlock warrior monk, is getting some shots off on his attendants. I want to route those as soon as possible just so I can start shooting at his warrior monks. And we're just going to be in a line battle at the moment, just a Fall of Samurai style kind of engagement. He's moving his attendants up and his matchlocks up. He just wants to meat shield with them and absorb fire with his attendants so that I'm not focusing on his guns. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to target his matchlocks because that's what the most important target is. And as you can see, he did have the shrine, but over on his right flank, I am uncapping it with my light cav. And he is going straight in for that melee engagement right now. I'm getting some good shots off on his matchlocks, and that European gunsmith is also a really important retainer that's helped me out a lot in this fight so far. I'm going to spear wall with my Yari Ashigaru up front and just tie as many units down as I can and try to get some flanks off. And he is going to attack it and blob it up head on. This whole battle was a little blobby. Neither of us microed quite as well. We didn't flank. I'm sure he didn't flank as well as he would like to. I mean, right now he's sending 3 or 4 units right under my 1 Yari Ashigaru, which is definitely not what you want to do. You want to flank around those. And I'm going to respond to that by sending in my long Yari Ash to try to hit his flank. And I'm sending my 29 attack Katana Cav around. And one mistake I did make with them was I didn't take out the matchlocks first. So I do get a flanking charge off with my Katana Cav, and they are going to do a lot of damage. But I don't take out the matchlocks first, and so he's able to take them out. I have my light Cav going up the front and taking out some of his matchlock samurai, but they're going to get tied down by his Yari Cav. That's okay though, because I basically just want to tie down that Yari Cav and then shoot it to death with my matchlocks. My attendants on my right flank are coming in around and trying to get a flank off on his melee blob. And he's flanking his Yari Cav, and we have another melee blob over on my left flank, and I'm sending in a Yari Ashigaru and Spear Wall, and I'm retreating my matchlocks. Basically, I just want to tie them down with my infantry units and then shoot them to death with my matchlocks. Now on my right flank, I've tied down his matchlock samurai with my Naginata attendants. Basically make them stop firing, and I have a full encircle over on the right flank, and his entire force over there is wavering and is going to rout soon. My matchlock warrior monk in the center is getting some shots off. I wanted to tie them down with my Yari Cav, and I did tie them down, but I wasn't able to retreat them as fast as I would have liked, so I will lose some of that unit. But this battle's looking pretty good for me at the moment. I'm getting good shots off on his Cav with my matchlocks, and at the moment it looks like that's the only thing that's going to be able to change this battle for him, is his cavalry, and he just doesn't have very much of it left. I still have control of the archery dojo, and he just tried to send his Yari Cav in to just hold down the rest of his units. I don't think that was a good call. Yari Cav isn't going to do well in sustained melee, especially against Yari Ashigaru. And he's tying down my matchlocks, warrior monks in the center, which was a good call. But I have another matchlock samurai in the back that's getting shots off. And I have my attendants flanking around, about to hit his gen. And I've already won the right flank, and this battle is pretty much over. I'm just going to send the rest of my melee units over to wipe out the rest of his right flank and just surround what little he has left. That was a really quick battle. I mean, Rice Fields usually is definitely not as exciting as the next battle in the series, but it's definitely fast-paced, and I do enjoy playing on Rice Fields. I think it's a good map. It's just not as interesting as some of the other maps in the game. But there we go, General just routed. And I won with a lot of casualties, but I managed to keep intact some of my better units. So that was game 1, and these are best of 3 series. So I'm going to be bringing you game 2 in the next commentary, and I will see you later. Stay classy, San Diego. Alright, and here we are on the stat screen. Just going to go over the stats real quick. I had a Katana Samurai with 193 kills, and as I said, my Long Yari Ash usually do really well for me. That hold firm is a great ability, and they got 186 kills. Honestly, I think Spear Wall, especially on Long Yari Ashigaru, is overpowered, but I will save that for another commentary. My matchlocks did okay for me. My very unfair matchlock warrior monks with 125 range got 100 kills, and yeah, I mean, my cavalry was never going to win me that battle, but I think they did a good job. I did a good job blocking his charges and keeping his cav out of the fight so that my matchlocks could take them out. Let's look at his stats. He had a Naginata warrior monk that flanked around my left, and that had 164 kills. He had a Nodachi with 140 kills, but other than that, his units just didn't quite do as well, I think, as he would have liked to. But in game 2, we'll be playing on Forest Gully. That was my map, and I will show you that in a little bit. Thanks for watching, guys.